All right. Good evening, Facebook Live watchers. I'm Pamela Bailey, one of the practitioners at the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley, and I'm here to give the midweek spiritual uplift. When I was asked what my topic would be, I thought about my daily creation of myself as being playful and brilliant, declared in a conversation with a dear friend. Amanda Gorman, Youth Poet Laureate, ended her speech at the inauguration with "Be the light." Jesus said, "Ye are the light of the world." Of course, he is correct, and we are all that light, each and every one of us. However, there are often obstacles which become a veil, which hide our brilliant light. Vanishing those obstacles or clouds is what allows us to shine our lights brightly. So, what are the meanings of brilliant? It means shining or reflecting brightly. It means vivid and brilliant colors, and it could also mean either intellectual or emotional brilliance. My intention tonight is that one, you're left so inspired, maybe even driven to shine your own light, that you, two, start by discovering who you truly are. Three, discover some of the obstacles to your brilliance. And four, get to work on clearing them out without being so serious and significant about it. Bring the lightness of play in and enjoy the process of blooming into your best and most brilliant self. This world of ours could certainly use more light, and each of and every one of us can be the one adding to the light of the world. I'm speaking in the first person here, since I can only directly impact my own thoughts and words. I start with being myself, that divinely born light of the world. Then, knowing myself, that will allow me to discover those obstacles and live for my true brilliance. Then, having discovered something which is actually blocking my brilliant light, rather than judging myself or making myself wrong or being a victim of an old story, I look for the gap between having my light obscured and having it shine brightly, and then take action. For me, it's in the face of procrastination. It's too hard. I don't want to do it now, or I don't want to ever do it, or fear that this will never change. It will never be able to be done. In any case, whatever it is, there are, even if there are external circumstances, there are still actions I can take and ways I can be to shine my light into the world. And when I bring play into the picture, it doesn't have to be hard or burdensome to me or demanding to others. And I hope I'm looking in the camera here. Plus, being brilliant and playful can cause you to create days and weeks that are truly worth having and worth living. Brilliance can be a little like happiness, i.e., I will be happy and have proven my brilliance when I have plenty of money, creative hobbies, great friends, a juicy romantic relationship, a wonderful, loving, and close family, and a firm and flexible body, and finally clean out the garage, or whatever those particular items are for you. At any moment and under any circumstance, I'm asserting that I can and will be both brilliant and happy when I truly know and express myself. That is, when I have peace within me, when I'm fully present, and I have faith that it will all end well eventually, that I make a difference, that my light shining or brilliant ideas and kind actions add to the greater good. As a dear friend recently affirmed, those stops, those obstacles are always within me, usually in my mind, and certainly not in the real world. I'm going to share areas of my own life where I can be more playful and brilliant, and invite you to look in your life where you can do the same. Yesterday, just very recently, I unwisely ate some junky food, i.e., tasty but full of sugar, fat, and flour, and very little nutrition. Afterward, I felt bogged down, tired, and grumpy. I know absolutely that frequently happens when I indulge, yet I did. Now, could when I've indulged and I'm feeling grumpy and tired and bogged down, am I going to be shining my light? No. But looking back, what could I have done to be brilliant? I do know what tempts me, and I do know what predisposes me to indulge unwisely. I can set myself up to avoid those temptations. I can eat more healthy food so I don't get hungry and tempted. In this case, I also could have not brought those wicked things into the house, and that could have prevented this particular lapse in judgment. I'm not committed to being perfect. That would be overwhelming to me and obnoxious to others. However, I am committed to being excellent by being playful and brilliant. I've certainly been on this planet long enough to have observed and learned a few things, especially to know that it's both helpful and powerful to set myself up with structures, or else I probably will be unprepared or forget while doing something else. I keep a I keep a hard copy calendar and I use my ever-present phone to set alarms and reminders so that things don't fall through the cracks. And I still forget or miss the alarms on occasion. When I become aware that that's happened, I stop, take a moment to forgive myself, being upset or missing due dates. My brilliant self knows that when I take responsibility for my errors and omissions, even telephone customer service people, who we all know are just a delight to deal with, they are more willing to help me. And in fact, they may even feel more related to me because we all goof on occasion. I've talked about knowing what to do and still doing something dumb or worse anyway, setting up structures to keep myself on track and avoid undesirable effects and outcomes, and also about forgiving myself and moving on forgiving myself and sometimes other and moving on. There are many things which can keep us separate from shining brightly. Mostly they come from our history, our experiences, our past, especially from our childhood. These dark clouds look like fear, shame, blame, guilt, anger, resentment, even abuse, and not good enough. That one especially is so for me, to live up to extremely high ideals or perfection. They can also come from wanting to look good and get approval from others. Of course, what we don't realize is they're not paying attention. But back to me and things I've done, I still feel a little guilty about the time when I threw a huge rock at my little brother who had been taunting me. He ducked and I broke a window. Needless to say, I got in trouble. And that was not at all a brilliant thing to do. Anger won in that moment. Not a good thing for me or him, except he ducked. In any case, years later, we can laugh about it. And sometimes we even say, gosh, I wonder what would have happened if I'd actually hit him. Probably I'd been in more trouble. Okay, looking at myself, it seems that two of my big obstacles are having to do it perfectly, or at least really well, and waiting for the perfect moment. I even know that that perfect moment does not exist in some vague future. It can only be in the now, right now, which is the only place that we can take action or even have thoughts. I know that that Nike slogan that we see everywhere, just do it, would serve me well. However, just knowing makes no difference. People who are overweight know, eat less, move more generally, and there are hundreds of diet and exercise plans, even TV shows about losing weight and getting healthy. Yet reading the book cover to cover does nothing. Nothing at all. It does seem like real life and brilliant results require action, sustained action out in life itself. I get stuck here in knowing and not doing in various and sinister forms. Brilliance, along with playfulness, could transform this from a heavy I have to, I should, I must, which of course makes it worse, to a playful how could I make it more fun? Get a buddy, create a team, or reward myself, etc. Get creative. If I got creative instead of being stuck, maybe I could be playing. All that said, right now, in these times of polarized views, I've often found myself avoiding conversations with those who have very different points of view because they're people I care about and I don't want to create distance or worse. However, I have also found that when I stand in love and a desire to be related, at a deep level, sometimes that brilliant light uncovers areas of shared values and deep relatedness, even acceptance of the other's view as right and natural, or at least understandable for them, and vice versa. I would say that finding and bringing to the light our deep relatedness and connection shines a brilliant light and gives us hope and possibility. And when I've succeeded, it's given me great joy. Sometimes being brilliant and caring is keeping my mouth shut. Of course, that would apply for gossip and rumors, but where I'm going is to overcome the temptation to give someone the answers. We've probably all been in a classroom where a very wise teacher is working with a student who just isn't getting it, while the rest of the class does. When that brilliant teacher leads that student to discover the answer for him or herself, the whole class gets to celebrate. That clearly is a holy moment. Discernment is a great gift we have been given, and using it to help another by being quiet is truly a brilliant gift of spirit. Allowing another the opportunity to learn something for themselves is shining the light on their innate brilliance. Reflecting brilliance is another way to increase light in the world. This one calls for both discretion and discernment. Sometimes I know someone who is particularly talented and or brilliant in some area, but they're shy or modest about it. I love to look for opportunities to shine the light on their brilliance in a relatively non-threatening environment. It could be having them share a poem or a painting or a photo or some creation or play an instrument or perform some difficult move like yoga or a dance move. This allows them to shine and all of us present to experience beauty or learn something, and it adds to the confidence of that shy soul, who then can shine their light more greatly. When I start looking at places in my life where I feel stuck, discouraged, or overwhelmed, and it doesn't seem like there's any way to make headway in this area, the best and most brilliant thing I can do is ask for help. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that for me, being someone who I normally see as quite competent. However, this is a two-edged sword, and it's vital to avoid creating dependency. That could be where play becomes extremely valuable. It's one thing when something of value is exchanged, and another when my desire is to become competent or at least adequate in this area. And they're teaching me, and I'm not, I'm the one not getting it, making it okay to goof and to laugh about it, and not doing it perfectly, even if I'm paying them, creates a whole different experience. And brilliance requires the best solution is to allow a professional to express their brilliance and pay them. My intent tonight has been to look at some areas where there are blockages to the expression and highest selves shining our lights brightly. I've shared some of my personal areas called tikkuns in Kabbalah, where I need lessons and training. That is okay. That's part of my human experience. I'm not bad or wrong. This is what I need to learn at this time in this life. Practices from prayer and forgiveness to meditation, journaling, and breathing practices to just being in communication and sharing. There are lots of ways to dispel the shrouds and to shine brilliantly. I invite you to look for yourself into some areas where you feel you're not shining your light brightly and see it in, not as an opportunity to make yourself wrong or bad or worse, stupid or foolish. See that as an area for you to get to work. Do whatever it takes to dispel that darkness and shine your sacred light. Don't make it serious. It's too important. Bring your precious child in and play with your actions, knowing there's nothing wrong. This is just how life is in this area until your light is shining bright. Used in many commencement speeches. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous? Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And we are liberated, as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And I also recommend going to YouTube and listening to It's in Every One of Us, any version. Thank you. Good night. Go have fun and be brilliant.